Hi guys, Skinny Pigs 1 here. So today is shout out number 4. So the day where I shout out your questions, your comments. So we are going to get started. As per usual, I'll be looking down at my phone to read your comments / questions. And if I butcher your username, I apologize. Okay, so number 1, Lily Allen. Hi Abby, I love all your videos. I have a question regarding grouping piggies. I currently have 2 male brother guinea pigs that get along great. I'm looking at adopting another guinea pig but don't want to mess up their amazing dynamic that my pigs already have. I was thinking about a spayed female as my boys are not neutered. What are your thoughts on this? So this is actually a question I already answered her, but I wanted to put it in this video because I get asked varying degrees of this question quite often. General rule, 2 males together, if they are working out, I wouldn't mess with a good thing. Having a trio or a quad workout with just males is pretty rare. And with 2 males, putting a female in there is just asking for a fight. Males, generally speaking, are going to want to fight for who has the right over that lady. Even if she's spayed, it doesn't matter. There are very few exceptions where people have 2 males in a cage with a bunch of females. But definitely 2 males with 1 female is a no-go. You would have to have like a bunch of ladies and 2 very cooperative males to have that work. So I just thought I would add that in because I have been asked that before about why don't Huckle and Apple go into the herd cage. Well, that would just be a fight between Littlefoot and Huckle. Okay, so number 2. If you're wondering why this is a different background, well, for 3 questions, my camera was not in focus. So number 2, Mel and her Hammy's Love. Hi Abby, I was wondering your thoughts for the Midwest cage. Do you think it is big enough for 2 adult guinea pigs? Are they just as good as CNC cages? I currently have a 2x5 and I still find it so small. And also was wondering how it is going with the Sherwood pellets. So first off, a Midwest cage is a decent size for finding it in a pet store or at Walmart or on Amazon. I don't personally find them better than CNC cages, only because I like the versatility of a CNC cage. 1 Midwest I think is too snug for 2 guinea pigs because it is a bit smaller than a 2x4. So I personally, if you're going to go with a Midwest, I would at least attach 2 together. And definitely 1 is going to be smaller than the 2x5 you mentioned, so if you think your 2x5 is small, definitely 1 Midwest is way too small. I personally, if you can do a CNC cage, I would just upgrade your 2x5. So maybe you can make it a 3x5. I really love the 3 grid wide cages. So next, about the Sherwood pellets, they are going awesome with the pigs. I personally wish I knew about them sooner, switched years ago. I can't say enough good things about Sherwood products. We only use Sherwood pellets here, Sherwood support tablets, and the Sherwood recovery food. So I don't use any of the other stuff anymore. So next question, number 3, Natural Vegan Mom. Where did you get your bins? They look super nice and sturdy. So those are the bins that I put my soiled fleece in and shake the fleece off into. They were actually from Home Hardware. I cannot recall what the name of the bin is, but I think they're about $15 each or less, but they're really heavy duty. Number 4, Yumi I don't know. Okay, you'll just have to read the name on the screen. I'm not even going to attempt that. What hay brand do you use? It seems delicious. Also, have you got any advice or a video about how to get your guinea pig not to bite you and how to pick them up without having to chase them? Your guinea pigs are so well behaved and you seem very sweet with them. Well, thank you. So first, hay, we use Oxbow Timothy and Oxbow Orchard Grass. I just buy 50-pound boxes. It is so much cheaper to buy the huge boxes versus the small bags. Anywhere that is selling Oxbow hay, there should be no reason that they can't special order you in the 50-pound boxes. You will have to ask, and they just have to check with their distributor. So even at pet stores, there shouldn't be any reason why they can't buy the bigger boxes, bring in the bigger boxes for you to buy. As for the advice about the guinea pigs not to bite, I think it's July 1st is my video about guinea pigs biting that I have coming out. So generally speaking, it just takes patience and understanding. Guinea pigs usually are biting because they're nervous, so it's out of fear, or they don't feel safe, or they don't feel comfortable. So once they get more used to you, the biting should go away. Most guinea pigs don't bite, but for the ones that do, it's definitely because they're nervous. And for picking them up without having to chase them, that's a tough one. Even my pigs, some of them will run from me, and you are like going back and forth, back and forth. So the best thing I try to do is to guide them into a corner so that I can literally kind of block them like this, so that they feel like they have nowhere to go, and then scoop them up. Or you could shoo them into a snuggle sack, into their house, so that you can just scoop them up quickly that way. It's just natural. They're prey animals. They don't want people chasing them, trying to pick them up. So some will get used to it, others, that's just how it's going to be. Alright. Okay, so number 5, the pet channel. Why do you put coconut oil on the bottom of your piggy's feet? Great question. So guinea pigs, just like people, could use a little extra moisture and protection every once in a while, so we use lotion. I use coconut oil for the guinea pigs because it's safe for them to ingest and lick off. I just find it keeps their feet nice, gives them a little extra protection because they're, you know, walking around on their cage. Sometimes it's a bit dirty where they're stepping. So I definitely just use that just to keep their feet nice and clean. Number 6. Heda's animal vlog, or Heda's, I apologize. Can you make a video on how to introduce guinea pigs to new members? I actually have quite a few videos. If you search, like in the YouTube search, you could put Skinny Pigs 1 introductions, introducing guinea pigs. The easiest thing I have done lately, if the cage is large enough, is do the introductions right in the cage. So I take everything out, wash it down completely, all new fresh water bottles, dishes, fresh bedding, and just hay, some veggies, and then put everybody in together that you're introducing. And then as they do well, then you can add your beds and stuff like that. But definitely for the first couple days, stick to things that they're not going to get trapped in or fight over. It really just depends on the pigs, how they're doing. Some of them I feel I can put beds in right away. Others, they still are a bit leery of each other going around things, so I keep things out until they just seem a little more comfortable. But I've been loving just doing the intros right in the cage so that they just get used to each other and they're right in home already. But otherwise you would do a big neutral zone, and then while they're getting used to each other there, you can clean your other cage, and then after a few hours put them into the cage. Generally speaking, you want to move them from the floor, say if they were introduced on the floor, to the cage once everybody's calmed down and is sleeping or eating. Number 7, Winter Lover. Tell me why it only takes me 5 seconds to fall in love with Rudy. Oh my god, how cute and social. The quad is such a great combo, also sweet and friendly. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Rudy is so adorable. Her weaking, she is just as loud as Angus. I just loved her as soon as I saw her. Number 8, Noah's Furry Adventures. Hi, are you worried about the bars on the cage since she is so tiny? So that's a great question. I know a lot of people probably can't tell, but all the grids are covered with either coroplast or plexiglass. So the plexiglass is probably the spots where you guys can't see, but the plexiglass is on there because yes, she could easily fit through the grids. So the 9 across square grids are great for adults, but when you're doing babies in a cage, you need to have it baby proofed. So the walls, normally you have them about 6 inches high. You can upgrade them even a little bit more by buying more coroplast and just sticking it roughly along. You could use cardboard, plexiglass, anything so that they can't slip through. You also want to make sure that you have water bottles low enough for them to reach. Pellet dishes aren't too deep. Hay is easy to get, so you'll notice for the herd I took the hay racks away because I would never want Rudy to get in the hay racks, fall through one of those little holes, or try to get up and behind them. Who knows what she could do. She could jump in them and try to jump out of the cage. So I took the hay racks out until she's way bigger. I would do the same thing with hay bags. You don't want a little baby to hop in the hay bag hole and get stuck and not know how to get out. Take out anything in the cage that's a potential hazard when you have babies and wait till they get older. So you'll notice I also don't have any toys in the cage. I wouldn't want her to get entangled or caught in any of the hanging toys that I usually have in the cage. But definitely the most important thing is to have the grids or bars covered so that they're not slipping out and escaping, or in my case slipping out, falling on the floor. Like that would be the worst case scenario. So until she's a lot bigger, the cage is kind of going to look a little rough with all the extra pieces I put around. Okay, number 9, Carolyn Danis. Is that normal behavior for how well your other pigs accepted Rudy? Generally speaking, yes. When you're introducing a small baby to adult guinea pigs, they should feel no threat from the baby, so there should be no reason for them to act overly aggressive or harm the baby. You're still going to notice the nips to let the baby know that they're the boss. There still might be a little light chasing. If you watch my introduction where Angus was with Bullseye, Bullseye definitely still chased him around and bothered the crap out of him, but he wasn't aggressive towards him, and they actually would sleep in the same bed together. So generally speaking, yeah, like babies should be pretty accepted by your adult guinea pigs. There shouldn't be any reason. I could see there being an issue if you're trying to do introductions and you're keeping them in a small environment and they're feeling crowded and annoyed by the baby, but if it's a big wide open cage, there shouldn't be any reason why things don't go well. I would say for the 4 pigs that Rudy met, they are the sweetest, calmest pigs that I have, so I think that also factored into everybody just being pretty like whatever. And I also am definitely finding that the more pigs you have together, they're just kind of more used to the herd life. So I think I could have not even cleaned the cage and just set Rudy in, and I don't think anything really crazy would have happened because they're already used to sharing their space with others. So it really went well, but then all of those pigs are super sweet. I would say Pecan's the one who gets annoyed the most with Rudy, just because Rudy's all over in the pellet dishes, all over the hay, and Pecan's quite in love with her food, so she does do little nips at her, but Rudy has no nicks or anything on her. Littlefoot, for being the boss, he is such a wimp. It made me laugh watching them because she would actually come up to his nose and he would back up like, whoa, and have his mouth open. He's not gonna bite or anything, but he was actually like on guard that he was gonna get her if she decided to do anything. And he actually took some steps back from this little baby that was like the size of his head. It just made me laugh. It took him probably 2 days to just be cool with her, but that was the exact same way he was with Reese and with Raisin. He just gets really nervous even though he's the boss. Reese was super comfortable with Rudy right away. She seemed to be the most motherly towards her. If Rudy started screaming, like doing the calling out yell because she was nervous, Reese ran right over to her and would just touch her, and then she would be quiet. Raisin enjoyed the first day that I have somebody that I can be the boss of, because before Raisin was on the lowest part of the totem pole, so she did some unnecessary little chases or nips or pushing her out of somewhere for no reason just because she could. But that faded after the first day. So they are doing so well together, and Rudy can go about her own business and nobody feels like they have to go chase her or see what she's doing. She can go drink, eat, sleep, run through the hay, do whatever she wants. The only time she has any conflict is just when all pigs do, if they're trying to steal food from each other, or one pig wants that water bottle and says, hey, move it. Otherwise, everybody's great. So, yeah. That was a really long-winded answer to that question. My bossiest pig, Nanook, when I introduced Reese to her, took to Reese super well, and prior to that, any adult I tried her with, she was so mean. So, yeah, babies should be that easy, I think. Okay, bye guys. I'm gonna stop talking. Bye.